What's going on, everyone? So it looks like Jarred Vanderbilt has gotten taller since the end of the season. So Phil Handy has been working out with Jarred Vanderbilt amongst several other players, but Jarred Vanderbilt has really been in the lab just grinding and working away ever since the Lakers decided to keep his option and keep him on the roster. He immediately was in the gym. Like literally the day that was announced, he was in the gym spending hours just working on that corner three, and he's been working heavily with Phil Handy. And Phil Handy he's the best in the game, right? And it's not even just because he's on the Lakers. The Lakers are blessed to be in a position to have him on the Lakers, but he is. I mean, he's always been that guy. He's so well loved, so well respected throughout the just NBA in general and the organization. There was so much fear that he was going to end up going and joining Frank Vogel's coaching staff, but he decided to stick around, stay with the Lakers, and I'm really glad he did. What he was able to do with some of these young guys, look at what Max Christie and the evolution he's had in just such a quick turnaround. Guys like Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, in like a month. Phil Handy fixed like all of Rui Hachimura's little like hiccups and stuff and just made him into a machine come the playoff time. And now he's working with Jarred Vanderbilt. And Jarred Vanderbilt, this dude was a menace, to put it nicely, on the defensive end. I mean, literally the Lakers went from like middle of the pack defensively to the number one defense when they acquired Jarred Vanderbilt, because him and Anthony Davis were just such a dynamic duo. His ability to just chase around and defend basically 1 through 5, right? Like, you're not putting him on like a Jokic or an Embiid or anything like that, but with his size, his length, his wingspan, and just his tenacity, you can put him and have him switch on anybody at any given moment. But we saw him and his ability to go from a Brandon Ingram to a Kyrie Irving and an Anthony Edwards to a Luka to, it's just, the list was just on and on and on about who he could guard, how he could guard them, Jamal Murray, and then switch onto a Michael Porter Jr., and then switch onto an Aaron Gordon, and then switch and like just be a help defender on Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic, or it's so great to have that versatility of a player. And he just turned 24 years old, so you have him potentially for the long haul. Now he's going to be due for a new contract, and I hope that the Lakers keep him long-term. I think he is a guy, but he has to work on that corner three. At least. He has to get at least respectable in that area. But this is a guy that, again, he's in Japan working out with guys. But this is a guy that is, 215. If he's gotten taller, it's not out of the realm of possibility. He's probably put on some muscle and weight. And I mean, even the picture you see on screen, like he looks a little bigger. But, his last listed weight was around like 215 to 218. So he's probably, if he grew another inch, you're talking about a guy that might be 6'10 now that can defend multiple positions. That's crazy. Because, I mean, Jarred Vanderbilt was like 6'8", 6'9". So now he's 6'9", 6'10". And all he's missing from being like a legit top of the line type player is just the ability to shoot the three ball, right? And at least with the Lakers, the corner three. Now it'd be nice if he could be able to shoot pretty much anywhere on the court, or he also needs to work on his hands, right? That was another sort of flaw that he had last year. How many times did he make a great cut? I mean, great cut. He's great at moving without the ball. But how many times did he make a great cut? Ball was delivered to him with like precision and he just fumbled it, right? He needs to work on his catching. He needs to work on his hands, and he needs to work on at least that corner three. He doesn't have to be elite. I'm not saying he has to be 40% or anything like that. But can he just get to like league average? Right? Like, can you just get to like 35%, 36%? If you can do that, then that's perfect, because we just need him to get to where teams have to respect it, where teams have to worry about him knocking it down on an efficient clip. And look, to his credit, he went from basically 15% from three, or to be fair, if we're going to be exact, 14.3% to 33% for Utah, and then 30% for us. But he also shot more with us than he did with Utah, not by much, but slightly. So you're talking about a guy that essentially more than doubled his 3-point percentage. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go and do that again and replicate that again, right? To go from, 14.3% to 32% or whatever, 33% on the year. And then, you end up that's what, 20% increase. Another 20% would mean he'd be shooting 52% from three. Don't see that happening. But I do think he is more than capable of shooting 35, 36%, right? Again, he shot 33% on 1.5 attempts per game for the Utah Jazz, right? So can he shoot 35%, 36%, which would only be like a 2.5% increase at that point, right? Shoot better than he did for us, because for us, he shot, like I said, 30.3%. But if he could just get to like 35, 36%, you don't need anything more than that. Because, again, he just needs to be respectable enough to where teams actually have to go out and defend it. Teams have to be honest with him. Teams can't sag off him too much, because if he catches the ball, he's going to make him pay. And if he develops that, watch out, because now you're talking about a legit 3-and-D. I mean, Jarred Vanderbilt is arguably top 5, top 10 perimeter defenders, like individual defenders. Like, how many guys did or even came close to doing what Jarred Vanderbilt did last year? Not even with just the Lakers. I'm talking about in his playtime period, right? It's not like he became a completely different player with the Lakers. No, like that was his whole shtick, right? That's what made him desirable for teams. The ability to defend multiple positions and to completely lock down the opposing team's best player. And I mean, he did it for Utah, he did it for Minnesota, right? Like, those are the kind of things that the Lakers needed. They were able to acquire that, and ideally you want to keep it. But here's the thing, is that he has to work on that three-point shot, because he could end up being the odd man out. And look, I know some people are like, there's no way his defense is too good. Defense is great, but if you can't score and you're a liability outside of your defense at times to where you have to be taken off the court, and you have a guy like Taurean Prince now who can also defend, maybe not as elite as Jarred Vanderbilt, but he can still do a pretty good job. He can still defend, and guess what? He's not a liability on the court. That's the difference, is the Lakers have guys now to where it's not just Jarred Vanderbilt, to where it's like, man, like, if Jarred Vanderbilt doesn't play, now we're like super undersized. Like, no, they got Cam Reddish, they got Jarred Vanderbilt, or Taurean Prince, they have Rui Hachimura now, LeBron James. They can move AD to the 4, which means that allows you to play like Rui and LeBron and guys like that at the 3. Like, the Lakers are not going to have problems with the 3. I'm not saying him being the odd man out means that like he's not going to play at all, but I'm saying like him being a starter or like the first rotational forward off the bench, no. Like, I could see if he can't shoot and he becomes a liability on the offensive end, then I could see his numbers dropping at least in half, right? He averages about 24 minutes per game. If he can't shoot and he can't do anything other than just defend, then I could see him only getting like 15 minutes a game or 10 minutes a game, because you need to, you'd rather have the guy that's average defensively or slightly above average defensively, but really good offensively, than the guy that is like basically non-existent offensively, but really good defensively. Because the Lakers are going to be good defensively regardless. Like, if you took Jarred Vanderbilt off this roster, the Lakers would still be one of the best defense teams in the league. Because they have the size, they have the switchability, they have the defenders, they have everything. So it's Jarred Vanderbilt's just kind of the cherry on top, rather than like last year where he was like the other banana in the split, so to speak, right? So like, I hope he's working like just diligently on top of like what we've seen, right? We've seen, at least based on the images and stuff, two or three times where he's been just like going at it. And I hope that that's like a regular occurrence. Because if he can develop a shot, then he's got to make himself where you can't take me off the court, right? Make yourself undeniable. Make yourself to where it's like he's our best defender and he's gotten really good offensively. You do that, he's fine. He won't have to worry about anything. Trust me, he'll get his minutes. Because why wouldn't you? You have one of the best defensive players in the league, and now he's, 36% from three or something like that. Like, that's undeniable. You can't sit that guy. You have to play that guy, right? So if he can become that, he's going to be in great shape and in a great position. And I love hearing the news of him growing. Like, if he really did grow another inch and got bigger, right? Like, that is huge. Huge. Because now he's going to be bigger, he's going to be longer, he's going to be stronger. It's just, again, the offense is the only thing that has to be kind of put together. If he can get the offense put together, he is golden. He is golden. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think of Jarred Vanderbilt getting these reps in? We think of him in Japan with Phil Handy. How do you feel about it? What are your thoughts? Love to hear it. Let me know.